Welcome to the start of a new anime review series. This is Monster. Yes, an anime that just started just this month. Here discussing the first two episodes of the series. Now, those who are thinking, Nick, what the heck is Monster? I'll get to the plot in just a minute, but I should point out though the series makes this one is Studio Dean, which makes this the fourth anime I let's see. I think it's overall maybe like the fifth anime because basically these following anime I have seen and reviewed, and they have I've done reviews for. That being Rama Half, Rashura Kenshin because they did the last like 30 episodes. I think it was in the filler episodes last season of the show. There is also Konosuba and Seven Deadly Sins. This is by far the fifth show I come across, basically, they've done. Yep. And from what I can tell anyways, the two episodes are called Reborn and Read the Bear. Yep, that is literally the name of this episode. Yep. So, in the case of anime this year, this makes this one. If I can get to it here. Here we go. I don't think it's the 10th one yet. No, I don't think so. So, mostly put, this is one of these anime based on light novel. From what I can tell anyways, this is adapted from the first, not exactly 5 chapters, because everything is like told in a day. And over the course of 2 episodes, 35 days pass by. They mentioned about 2 or 3 months, possibly. Apparently, a day in this world is long and 24 hours is probably a lot longer than that. Because we start off with our main character, who's a human who lives in a futuristic city. Now, this is a first for me saying this because I have never seen a series where we have one of these isekai and the person gets killed. Normally they're killed in a lot of the time, with the exception of one other series and this one, mostly in modern day. Never in the past, like, in The Strongest Exorcist, that one basically, he was killed in the past. Like during feudal Japan. In the case, this one, it's in the future. And he's killed by a woman who was his stalker. Yep. A very beautiful one, mind you. Why she stalked him, never revealed. Because the episode opens with him being stabbed, like he's already on the ground, and he's getting stabbed by this maniac woman. And then he wakes up, and he opens his eyes, and then he's fed a worm. Like a gooey worm. And it turns out he's been born as a goblin. Yep. This is another first for me. A character reincarnated as a goblin. Mostly put, the only thing I've ever seen these characters reincarnated as another human is a slime. But goblin? That is interesting. I've never seen it before, and the way he looks like goblins you would see in Goblin Slayer. So, we show that he's a very intelligent goblin because he keeps his knowledge in the whole world. He also kept a couple of his abilities, but everything else has been reset. And it looks like, though, from the previous world, looked like he may have been a vampire because apparently he had this thing where he would kill people and consume their abilities, and this is something carried over into this world too. So, you see where he eats, grows up a little bit, goes out. By the way, his name is Gabi Bro. Well, and then of course, he sees another goblin, follows him outside, and this is Gaba Key. Now, when he calls him that, he's like, "That's my name." He apparently had no idea because the guy's a bit of an idiot. So they agreed to work together, be a hunting duo because they had to go out and hunt for food. And the first thing hunt for is a horned rabbit. Damn, I'm gonna hunt that pesky rabbit. Yes, I had to do an Elmer Fudd thing. So, they have a two-prong attack where I believe it was Gabakichi would chase it, and Gabi Bro would pin it down with a stick, which they kill it, and then of course they obtain a horn. A medium horn. Also have this thing where you have attained this thing. Now, this, if you're curious about this actually is a carryover from the book. So I appreciate the fact that I remember the fact that he can do that. Not many of these anime I've seen like this, where they have like you obtain this item. Like very few anime I've seen do this. Like this has also happened in, off the top of my head, I think the only I could think of. I know this happened in Time of Grind Slime. I know it happened in that one. And the only other series I can think of this happened in, where basically has someone acknowledging a stat, is probably the Rise of Shohiro. So this is only like the third name I've come across like this. So, and then the next day they kill another rabbit, which they get medium horn, and then they hunt for more stuff, and then we're introduced to a female goblin named Gabi-Mi, and she goes hunting because she basically admires them for being good hunters. And of course, she kind of falls for the main character. Of course, she does. Yep. And by the way, the voice actors for the show is quite interesting. Now, of course, I have not seen these characters. I heard some of these voice actors. Gabiru is voiced by Sean Labertu. Gabakichi is voiced by Reagan Murdoch. When I heard the name Gabiru, I'm like, wait, is this also the same character name from, get this, That's Time of Crimes and Slime? Oh, I just looked up. Apparently, light novel series over. Only 9 books. I only had 1. Yeah, that's the. Okay, so Gabi-Mi is voiced by Kate Bristol. You're thinking, okay, what have you seen anything she's been in? Well, she's the voice of Pan from Dragon Ball Z, and of course, Child Pan from GT. She's also a class rep from My Bride as Mermaids. That's 3. She was also in Black Clover as Ladato Bakri. Shizu Yasuki from Mafria. Super X Heroes. And that's it. So it makes it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This only makes the 7th series I have actually come across her within it. Yep. Like, okay, interesting. So, by the end of the first episode, Gabiru has evolved to a hobgoblin where he's got hair because he's already bald. The female goblins got hair. The male goblins don't. And he starts wearing wrinkled clothes. And of course, there's our goblins who are jealous of him, where he's a beat him up. And of course, Gabi proceeds to nearly choke one of them, starts foaming with the mouth. Yeah, shows the fact she protects her man. And of course, they form like she works with them as a 3-person team. Then eventually, they're joined by Gabi E, who is voiced by Jill Harris, wonderful voice actress who I've met in person. And I looked up recently, like, oh, that's interesting. So, okay. So how many series of her? Because I met this woman last year. Very lovely woman. She's not even 30. Yeah, Jill Harris, I think she's like about 28, I think, when I met her last year. And she's, no insulting her. Jill Harris is a short woman, but not that short. She's about the same height as my, she's about an inch too short of my sister. And here's the thing, okay? Dallas Reed, if you listen to this, you are a lucky guy to be involved with that woman, because basically she's very lovely. No denying that. Yep. Aside from this series, she was also in Fairy Tail as Lammy. Of course, she's Noelle from Black Clover. Alita, the female lead of Restaurant in the World, that makes about... Oh yeah, she's the young version of Phoenix, right? So basically it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Lens from the World, the smartphone, that's 4. Card Capsule Clear Card. That's Cheru. Mende, that's 5 for her. 6, Isekai Quartet. 7, the Quintuple Quintuplets. She's voice of Nanao. Plunderer, Saki. So at that point there, that's, she's also voice of Allure from Overlord. I forgot she's in that one. So it's Fairy Tail, Overlord, that's 2, 3, Ace Attorney, 4, Restaurant in the World, 5, Black Clover, 6, and then we're smartphone. 7, Card Captor Sakura, clear card. Lou from Death March upstairs makes I think it's 7, 8. 9 is Tokyo Re. 10, My Hero Academia. 11, Quintessa Cantabas. 12, Isekai Quartet. One Piece, that makes 13. 14, Slime Diaries. So this now makes for her 15 series I've come across. Right? Yes, 15. Which, that is shocking for her. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's actually a pretty good number there. Yep. So, eventually, during the course second episode, Gabi does evolve to a more beautiful woman. And she starts wearing other clothes, has some rag. Where she tells her she wears regular clothes. And, of course, they continue hunting. And, of course, the other goblins, basically, of course, he even also eating other monsters. Not just, basically, rabbits. He also eat, like, a big horse. Yeah, it was like a scaly horse. He also ate wolves, which gave him some order to command the goblins. And, of course, they become his followers. And he tries to train them, and they start evolving. He also ate a spider as well. And then, of course, we have hobgoblins show up. Now, they're raiders, and they're from the previous generation of them, probably about a few years earlier. And the fact that they also brought with them, that we also see in this room where he gets one of his weapons, that there's actually a group of women in this cave, 2 of whom are naked and are pregnant. He kind of suspects what they're there for. They're there basically to be raped by the goblins. He doesn't like that very much, and this comes up a little bit later on. So, he ends up finding the leader of the hobgoblins and beating him. Either so, oh, can't use weapons. Iller's like, you cheated. He's like, no, I didn't. Webbing's part of me. Yeah, he can't move his fingers. So he beats the hobgoblin leader, and he's become the new leader of the village. And of course, they do more hunting, and of course, more training, build up basically their strength. And then, got Hobkin, that's the guy's name, and a few other hobgoblins, decided that this would be a good time while basically Gabiru was asleep to try to rape the 5 women. Gabiru basically, one of the abilities is detect this. Thanks to search. So then he proceeds to beat the crap out of these 5 guys to put with his blood, string them up, and of course, everyone outside is like, he also proceeds to use Gabukin as a punching bag. He says, this is what happens when you don't follow the rules. And they're like, okay. He's like, then you're all dismissed. And he proceeds to leave them all hang out outside for the sun to basically bake them. Yep. And, of course, also the redheaded, of course, he comes in with some food. And then, of course, the redhead decides to hop into his hammock with him. Which, of course, he just being very polite. And, of course, just puts covers over her. And then he wakes up next morning and Gabi being is basically on this other side, of course, depending on it. So I was like, damn, they're both heavy. And it's not because they're chubby. No, because basically just their weight basically is on his arm. Which I thought this was funny. I'm like, dude, you dog. You got 2 beautiful women to hop in bed with you. First is a beautiful redhead human woman. And then it's one of your own goblins. Which I read this is the only goblin from his own tribe he gets involved with. He's not going to any of you a goblin. Not Gabi E. Nope. She's somebody else's woman. Yep, and of course he keeps getting stronger. You all see he puts on looks like he wears pants, a shirt, and carries 2 swords at his side. Then he proceeds to go hunting in the woods wherever he goes to training. Me. Then of course he ends up in a particular type of woods that the elderly home not to go to. The deep northern woods are home to the red bear. You're thinking, what the heck is the red bear? It's this giant bear with this lion-like mane on him. He's got humongous claws, and this thing can bring fire. You ever heard of a fire-breathing bear? Nope. And then after like a month of battling this damn thing, even though it seems like a few days passed by, but it's actually like a month. So, also losing his arm, he finally kills the damn thing, and he gets like basically some abilities from it, like strength. and he eats the head, he eats one of the claws, takes the pelt back, and of course everybody's worried about him. And of course Gabini proceeds to kick him in the shin for basically, and of course everybody scolded him, and everybody's shocked the fact he actually did this. By the way, there's also an elder who, get this, in the anime he says he's 27. I'm like, and he's an old man already? Well, he says the reason why this is, why he's already old like this, why 20 is like old, because goblins age quickly. That's the reason for this. I'm like, okay, interesting. But I'm enjoying this series so far. I'm probably going to do one more episode. I might hold off to episode 4 because that did get released. Mainly because basically that the first book only has 60 days in it. So I'm probably going to read book 2 soon so I can get done the rest of the season whenever it does come. But I'm loving this so far. I wasn't going to work on Dr. Elsie, but I figured though, why not work on this? It's only a few episodes. Shouldn't take me very long. Why did I get a chance to work on Dr. Elsie? I just finished reading the manga last night. And of course I read the book for this. The book was really interesting to read. So I don't know. It depends. I might, as soon as I catch up with this show, I might just do One Piece and then just basically go back to Alpha Ranger. Okay? But until this next video, which we'll work on the very next episode. Bye.